Before we start this review, you should like and subscribe to this channel.
Yeah.
What you think?
Definitely. Give it a thumbs up, subscribe, do the little bell thing. I don't even know what that means.
All right, this is Brandon with Believe in the Run.
And this is Megan with Believe in the Run.
And today we are talking about the Hoka Bondi 8.
I've always loved the Hoka Bondi 8. Brandon's never run in a Hoka Bondi, so you're gonna get some interesting perspectives here. The Hoka Bondi has been one of my favorite max cushion shoes forever, so I'm excited to talk about the 8. Brandon, you've never run in a Bondi.
This is my first experience in the Hoka Bondi 8. But like you said, you've run in like basically, have you run in like all the versions or not really?
Probably, pretty close.
Yeah, for me, this is like a shoe that I wanted to run. Okay, I didn't actually really care about the Hoka Bondi or like any max cushion shoe like whatsoever when I first came onto the team. But then I started kind of running in like more like, well, you guys like turned me on to this idea that like max cushion shoes were like the win. And I was like, well.
And he came over to the good side.
I was like, that's bullshit. And then I was like, okay, fine. And then I tried the Hoka Bondi 8 and I tried a bunch of other max cushion shoes and I was like, okay, I kind of see what you're saying. Like, I get it. Like, this is the wave. Like, I'll jump on the bandwagon.
Yeah, so Hoka's always been known for their max cushion shoes, but the Bondi is like their max cushion shoe. So the most stack, the most cushioning, the most comfort.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if like you're saying Hoka's shoes are already super well cushioned and then you add more cush to that cush, it's like, you're gonna get like, this is going to be like that high level stack that you want, so. Yeah.
All right, so let's dive right in. You've got a mesh engineered upper. It is a little thick.
It's a little thick. It's a little warm, but for me, honestly, when I was running, it's got that like narrow fit, which I think you said was a little bit different than other Bondi versions, right?
Yeah, so what they did here is that they widened out this platform at the bottom, so you have a really stable ride with this shoe, but it seems like they might have narrowed up the actual upper fit here, so this to me felt pretty snug, especially comparing it to previous models.
Okay, yeah, you can like actually see it. So if you look here, like you can see all the flare out from the yellow, but then this like bluish gray in the middle is just your upper. So it's really narrow actually for an upper, especially for how wide this base is.
Yeah, so the fit is okay. Like I have a wider foot. It worked okay in this. I would have preferred a little bit more room, especially in the toe box, but it was not like a total, like not gonna wear it shoe.
Right, well, especially with like, okay, so you have the gusseted tongue in this shoe. Actually, you only have like a half gusset. So you have a half gusset in the tongue, and you've got a pretty narrow upper, and the lacing system is like pretty traditional. So for me, like the lockdown was like super snug. So if you're someone who like really likes like a super snug lockdown and just like really form-fitting upper, this is a great shoe.
Yeah, and it also has a really nice step in because you have all of this cushioning underfoot, and then you have like a really decent amount of padding through the collar and tongue here. It's plush feeling.
And it's also like, especially with the really well-fitting upper, and then you've got that wider base, like it's gonna be impossible for you to like roll your ankle in this shoe at all.
Yeah,
so
this is a Clydesdale.
100%.
So speaking of all of this cushioning underfoot, what they've done is, like we said, they widened the platform here a little bit. You still have your like very Bondi feeling, a lot of stack and cushion underfoot. What they did do is they lightened it up a bit, and they also made it a little bit softer.
Everyone says that the Bondi is like a pretty heavy shoe, and it is, like relative to other daily trainers, it is, but it's gone down in weight, and it is a little bit lighter this time, and they're using a foam that's lighter than their previous EVA models. So that's pretty good. Yeah,
so just to give you an idea, my women's size 7.5 of the Bondi 8 was 9.5 ounces. They've gotten my women's 7.5 down to 8.9 ounces, so pretty substantial weight there.
Yeah, and for my men's 8.5, it's now 10.5 ounces and it's 300 grams. So, but for me, like while I was running and while I was kind of going through my stride, I don't really notice weight in shoes that much. I mean, I guess if it's like a super shoe, like yeah, it's gonna be like super light and like really airy. But if I just want like something that's really plush or like a daily trainer, like for me, like I just didn't really feel like that was a problem. Like I didn't think like weight was gonna be my biggest deterrent for this shoe.
Yeah, and another thing that Hoka is known for is kind of that rocker geometry, and you do feel that in this shoe as well. So even though this is a little heavier, a little bit more substantial of shoe, you get that nice rocker, and I feel like you can just cruise in this guy for miles.
Yeah, but I think for me, like, the ride was a little like brickish and not that flexible. I mean, it's a little flexible here, kind of through like the toe off, but for me, since there's so much stack, you're so high off the ground, it just felt like it felt like one complete slab or one complete unit. There's not like two parts to this shoe that you roll through. It's sort of just like the one slab under your foot.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't suggest this shoe. I know people use it as a daily trainer. I'm thinking of this more as like your recovery day shoe. So that day after you just did a hard workout or a long run, you lace this guy up and you just do some easy miles.
Yeah, I would use it for a recovery shoe. I would use it as a recovery shoe. I would probably also use it as daily trainer, like personally for me. But this isn't a shoe that I'm gonna wear for like any sort of like tempos, workouts, race day, forget it. Like this shoe is staying on the shelf.
Yeah, I did during the pandemic take some crowns on Strava in the Bondi, but I did not even attempt this year in this guy.
That was ridiculous, by the way, the fact that you did that. And you didn't even do it in the, you did that in what, the
6 or 7, I don't know.
The 6 or 7, but she didn't do it in the Bondi X that has a carbon plate in it, which would have been, if you're gonna use a Bondi and you're gonna pick up the pace, you're gonna do the one with the carbon plate, like, whatever.
But so overall, I think these updates are pretty solid. I mean, I love when a shoe gets lighter, so great job with that. I'm not in love with the upper and the fit of this. Like I said, I wish it was kind of a little bit wider and had some more room in the toe box. But overall, I've been enjoying my miles in this.
Well, you didn't love the upper. I loved the upper, but I think that's because we have two different types of foot shapes, right? You've got a little bit of a wider toe box for foot shape, and then I've got a much narrower foot. So therefore, like, I think it's just like a matter of like what your foot shape is gonna preference on the shoe. But then again, like, if you have an upper that you have to worry about what your foot shape is just for that shoe, then that's probably a knock.
Yeah, I mean, wide foot Jared's not gonna like this guy.
No,
not gonna be a fan.
Like, he will not make it past the midfoot trying to get his foot in here. There's no way. This
guy is gonna be available July 15th. You can pick it up for $165, which honestly is pretty good because I think you can get a lot of miles out of this guy. Something we didn't mention, but there is plenty of rubber coverage in the bottom here, and I think you're just gonna get lots of miles out of this. Yeah,
the mile per dollar amount on this is gonna be pretty good. This is a shoe that, like, there aren't a lot of shoes that you'll go over 400 miles in. This is a shoe that, like, you can look into that 500, 600 mile range. And it might not feel like as good as it was out of the box, but you could get there if you really wanted to.
Yep, it's a cruiser.
Definitely.
All right, so Brandon, what do you rate the Bondi 8?
I mean, I'm giving this a green light. Like, this is a great shoe. It's great for recovery days. It's great for those easy miles. It's great if you just wanna, if your legs are beat up and you just don't have another shoe to run in, this is, a Hoka Bondi is a great shoe to just pick up and just, like, you can just slog some miles in.
Yep, I have to agree. I really like that it's gotten a little lighter. I love it for those easy days, cruising miles, and the colorway's pretty nice.
Yeah, I'm into the colorway. I mean, it's not my favorite colorway, but I think it's, like, fine. Like, for the men's side, you definitely got the better colorway.
I usually win the colorways.
Yeah, mine's like a little, like, weird grayed out, but I do like the yellow. It's fine, whatever, I'm done. This is getting ridiculous.
Okay, that's our take on the Bondi. We liked the Bondi 8, nice daily cruiser. If you liked this review, go ahead and hit that like button.
Yeah, or subscribe to the channel. Or follow us on Instagram, or Strava, or listen to Fuel for the Soul, or the Drop Podcast. Those are podcasts that we have. Fuel for the Soul comes out bi-weekly, and then the Drop Podcast is every Friday. So those are all, like, really, really sweet ways to tune in with Believe in the Run.
Yeah, check them out.
All right.
All right, so what are you giving it in terms of...
Did we talk about Drop?
Shit.
Okay. I'm just not gonna say it. Is it green, right?
Yeah.
I'm giving it a green.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just want to be sure.
You can put green and I can say, take it down.
God damn it. No.
Not what we agreed upon.
It's ridiculous. Okay.